I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and I'm at a pull-off area here in an area that is called Turn Bridge. This is US Route 211 heading up towards the Gap, down this ways towards Sperryville. There's a gray ghost, and I'm going to close up the gray ghost and head up here to the hairpin turn and get on the Pass Mountain Trail and hike that up a ways up to a saddle area, and then I'm going to turn left and start looking for an old homestead. The elevation here is 1,400 feet. Seven-tenths of a mile into my hike. The elevation here is 1,820 feet. It's been a pretty steep climb. That's where I came from. Down there is US 211. And this used to be a four-way intersection, but now it's just a, if you're coming up from Turn Bridge, when you see this marker, you just take a left, and this is Pass Mountain Trail continued to the left. Straight ahead, that's an abandoned trail that takes you down, I guess it's the north side of the mountain, down into Butterworth Branch. And this road right here is another abandoned trail that takes you to up to Oven Top Summit. But we're going to head this way to the left. It's not much further to where the Clark homestead was. Nine-tenths of a mile into my hike. The elevation here is 1,840. And that's where I came from. Sorry about the sun, but anyway, I just crossed over. There's a spring here. I'll try and get a picture of it. It's built into the side of the mountain right there. And this is within about 180 feet of what where I wanted to investigate up that way. It's pretty overgrown, but I don't see a huge amount of thorns, so I'll try and get a picture of the spring, and then I'm gonna push back on up in there. There's a couple different places I want to look. One place is where I saw LiDAR, stuff on LiDAR, which is right up here somewhere. And then a little bit further up is the 1929 map location. So I'll investigate both of those if I can. Let me get a picture of this spring first. That was a battle just getting over here to get this picture. Here's the spring. You can see where they armored up the area where they dug it out right there. Nice stone work. Goes down from the top of the stonework down to where the water is. It's about 4 feet. I don't know how deep the water is, but anyway, it's coming out of there even after 100 years. And it runs down that way and crosses over the trail. The trail's right over there. That swampy looking area, that's where the trail is. I'll mark this with my GPS. Well, I found a rock pile. Let's see. 1 mile into my hike. The elevation here is 1890. And I'm within about 40 feet of my LiDAR image that I wanted to investigate. And this is a big pile of rocks. Right there looks like a driveway looping around, like the back side of the house or something. And the rock pile starts there, and it goes all the way up there, and then all the way down to here. I'll try and get some better pictures. And then looking straight through there, looks like the road continues on that way. And also, there's a bit of a road coming up from that way. So coming up from 211, you would have come up past Mountain Trail and come up that little short piece of road to bring you right up here to this great big pile of rocks. So now there was supposed to be an old cemetery close to their house, but you can see, let me do a little sweep here. You can see how overgrown it is. Sorry about the sun. I'll look around and see if I can find anything. But I'm just glad to have found this. So the LiDAR image is accurate. Now, I also want to go up this way to the 1929 location and see if it's a couple of 100 feet up that way. It could just be that much error in the map. That's not unheard of. So, but I'm going to mark this. I'm thinking this is where the homestead actually was. Here's another angle at this first rock pile with the sun at my back. And I'm looking behind me and I think I see another rock pile. So let me mosey over there and see what that is. Alrighty, well here's rock pile number 2. Now, the other one's more covered up than this one with leaves and stuff. This one, I don't know, hopefully you can tell from the video, but I mean, these are some big rocks here. I mean, it took some effort to move some of those things around. Anyway, it starts over there, and I don't think it's more than 50 feet from the other one. The other one's behind me. There's that one. From what I can see, which isn't a whole lot, this whole area is a little bit terraced off, relatively flat, and the spring is back that way. And also back in that general direction is the 1929 location, so I want to go by there also, and then maybe get back out to the trail and hike up to where it looked like a road or a driveway coming here, came down here. I'll take a look at that too. But anyway, here's big rock pile number 2. Here's a view of the second rock pile from the opposite side. I don't know, this rock pile, this second rock pile looks bigger to me than the first one. So, for what that's worth, I got both of them marked on my GPS. Now, that's just horribly overgrown down that way, so I'm not going down that way. Plus, I'm fighting the nasty thorns and stuff. If I was going to put in a cemetery, if this was my house and I was going to put in a cemetery, I'd probably put it up here on this hill somewhere. So I'm going to go up there and take a look on my way back to the trail. All right, well, just a short ways up the hill is this great big dugout spot. I don't see a tree blown down. It doesn't look like what you get when a tree blows over. First of all, there's no tree near it. But anyway, I don't know if that was a burial spot or not. It could have been. And then I know that the Clarks right now are not buried up here. They're down in the valley. I'll talk about that when I do my map talk. So it's possible they were buried up here and then moved. I don't know. Let's see. And then look right next over here is another spot dug out the same way. So possible, but I don't know. 50-50. I'll mark the location anyway and look around just a little more. Well, now that I'm standing in the first dugout spot, I'm looking to my left and I see there's a third dugout spot there. So there's one there. I'm standing in the big one, and then there's a third one over there. And then they're facing the southeast and the house, which is down that way. .1 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,840 feet. I'm standing at the 1929 location from the 1929 map. This is about 200 feet away from those rock piles. I'll do a 360 here. I don't see anything. I don't see any evidence of a homestead. I don't see any roads or rock piles or anything. The roads and the rock piles are up that way to the, I guess, to the southwest, maybe about 200 feet and up the hill. And I don't see anything in through here. It is kind of level here though. But anyway, I don't see anything here, so I'm going to make my way back out to the trail, and then I may continue on past mountain to see if I can see where the old road intersected with Pass Mountain Trail. .3 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,940 feet. Been climbing the mountain. This is the way I came from, up Pass Mountain Trail, looking for the spot where the road going to the Clark property intersected with this road, and this is it right here. The LiDAR image got me within like 30 feet of this spot. So as you can see, it's pretty overgrown, so I'm not going to go down that road. I'm just going to start heading back to my car down Pass Mountain Trail. Note to myself, I adjusted waypoint Clark, Homestead Road number 1 to this point right here where I'm standing. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Thornton Gap, 1994, and this was a bushwhack looking for the ruins of the Andrew Clark Homestead. This was track 138B, and it was 158 acres. This is US Route 211 coming up the side of the mountain towards Thornton Gap. And this hairpin turn here is on this map and in earlier documents. This area is referred to as Turn Bridge. Nowadays, this trail right here is called Pass Mountain Trail. You park just before you enter the turn. Here on the left side, there's a pull-off area. And then you have to hike up to the hairpin turn, get on Pass Mountain Trail, and start climbing the mountain. There's a switchback in here. And then finally you reach a saddle area right here. Now, in the old days, this was a four-way intersection. You had this trail coming up. You had this trail, which is abandoned now, going up to Oven Top Summit. And then you also had this trail heading down the backside of the mountain into Butterworth Branch. And then nowadays, the only thing left is this trail here, Pass Mountain Trail that goes to the left. And right where that X is the area where I found the homestead. I drew this in like this because this is wrong on this map. The map shows it coming up like this and then going like to the left like that, and it's actually more like this line and then sweeping around. If you follow this far enough, this will take you all the way up to Pass Mountain Hut, which is near the summit of Pass Mountain. But anyway, when I got over in this area, the first thing I saw was the spring. And the way that the stonework is and everything, it looks to me it's fairly large. It was probably a spring house. There was probably an enclosure on top of it at once upon a time. So I knew I was close when I found the spring house. Then I pushed on into this undergrowth here. It's overgrown pretty badly in through here. Found 2 rock piles. Then I came back towards the trail looking for the 1929 map location. Found that, as didn't see anything there. So I'm pretty confident that the stuff you see in the video, it was the rock piles left over from the at the homestead location. Now I'll show you a couple other things before we sign off. This is Stony Man 1929, and right there, that black square is where they marked a homestead location for the Andrew Clark homestead. This X that I circled is where I actually found it. And that's about a 200-foot discrepancy there. And then one more thing that I found in the Shenandoah online records is this is a picture that was taken in August of 1937 of Andrew Clark, and this is his wife Cora Clark. She lived from 1884 to 1970, and Andrew lived from 1861 to 1944. So every once in a while you get some pictures in the online records like that. Fairly short hike. This was 2.3 miles with a total ascent of 617 feet. And that was the hike for today.